It is mock draft Wednesday. Today's April 1st, the first day of the drafts month in the NFL. April is the draft month, and the cat seems to want to draft some people with me too. So we're gonna start the draft today, and we're gonna have a little fun twist to this. This will be only one round mock draft. It will be probably the last one round mock draft of this draft cycle. It's kind of crazy to talk about because this draft cycle is ending very very soon in less than a month. So it's gonna be a fun ride. We're gonna grind out a bunch of content here. I don't dislike any of the mock drafts I've done so far, so let's keep it this way. But today we'll be doing something different. Yes, the Raiders will be taking a quarterback, but they'll be taking someone else, and they won't be taking Fernando Mendoza. You know who they'll be taking? Diego Pavia, quarterback out of Vanderbilt. So we're gonna have a little April Fool's mock draft. Let's see the trends. Jesus Christ, he's not even getting drafted by some teams. So so Diego Pavia gets drafted here, and the thing with Diego Pavia is, right, he's kind of like people call him like a poor man's Johnny Manziel. Honestly, I don't really have any analysis on Diego Pavia because I always thought of him as a I don't know, just as a mid quarterback. Like even in Vanderbilt, I know he had like a cult like following, but like I never really like loved his tape. So like I don't know, I just never really like had put the time and effort to scout him. I just had like I knew his frame was like pretty bad. His arm talent was average. He just had really good extendability, and that's just not what people want. So if the frame's bad, the arm talent's bad, and just everything around like sometimes just bad and inconsistent. Like I don't know, I'm a little concerned. I don't think he should have even got a Heisman contention. I'd rather had Jacob Rodriguez there, but that's just me. But we got Diego Pavia here, not a bad idea for this team, and we're gonna go there. The Jets on the clock. Let's see who they can get there. It's gonna be an edge rusher because I'm gonna have edge rushers. The problem is who's gonna be taken. I'm gonna go Romello Hyde, Texas Tech edge rusher. I have Romello Hyde going this high because I think Romello Hyde has an amazing floor as a pass rusher. You know why? Because his speed rush is really good. That's really good. I mean, there's not much strength. It's just if he gets to the quarterback with the speed, he gets there. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And it's a little more inconsistent version of Cash Howell, which is already inconsistent enough. So Romello Hyde is gonna go here. They get the edge of the future, not a bad option whatsoever. The Cardinals, I'm gonna have them going tackle here, but the problem is they're not gonna go Francis Mauigoa. No, why would they ever do that? They're gonna go Jude Barry, the guy who just got molested during the Senior Bowl. Like he actually got terribly molested. This is gonna be more of like a prospect, not highlight, but like what's the opposite of a highlight? A D-light? Am I stupid? Highlight. Why is it just a random woman? Highlight antonym. A low light. Oh wow, it's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, this is kind of like a prospect low light. So we're gonna be going Jude Bowery here. I don't dislike Jude Bowery like that much. He did have a terrible Senior Bowl where he just kept on getting terrible reps and he just kept on getting fucked up. So we're gonna go Jude Bowery here. Pretty fun, pretty fun tackle to talk about. I mean, it just really just didn't look good. His a bunch of inconsistencies, and he's kind of small for a guard too, or for a tackle too. So you can maybe move him to guard, but this team doesn't really need a guard that desperately. So you're probably gonna take a tackle here. So Jude Bowery plays a tackle role. You got your guy here. The Titans on the board. We're gonna go running back here because I want to talk about one running back in specific. We're gonna go Jaden Ott, who is is another guy. Is another all-time running back who transferred from Cal to Oklahoma. He didn't even have like that great of a year. Like he's supposed to be like I think transferring from Cal, he's supposed to be like really good, but he never really like flourished. And that's like the thing that I really like found crazy because I was actually really high on Jaden Ott when he was transferred. He was a former 5-star, former 4-star, and he had like solid games at Cal, and which caught my eye. But transferring to Oklahoma, right, there was like areas where I was like, okay, wow, this is just not good, and he just looked really bad. And then apparently like he's been like terrible to the media. So I don't really know how well that's all gonna be during his draft process. If he even gets drafted, I don't even know. Let's see the trends for him. Going to the Bears, it's like a really late round pick. He's going like. Yeah, really late. So he's very interesting. He only had 68 yards this year. Wow, he had 1,000 yards at Cal 2023. And then he had 7 games played, 21 yards a time. He's been also pretty injury like prone in his career. Like he had a bunch of injury riddles. So only 68 yards this year. I see no world where he's even remotely a top day 2 pick. So we're gonna go Jane on here, not a bad idea. The Giants on the board. We're gonna go linebacker here. We usually go linebacker. The problem is who do they take? And they're going to take Terrion York, a short linebacker here, and they're going to take him and reach for him in the first round because you know why? Because the Giants need a linebacker, and Terrion York fits that mold perfectly for this team. Terrion York is a little bit smaller linebacker. Like I'm not really high on him. I think Terrion York, like being 5'10", 227 as a linebacker, like you might just get fucked. Like genuinely, like the difference between Kyle Lewis, right, is that he's like at least like 6 foot. I think it's taller than 6 foot. He's 6'1". And he also has like edge ability. Like I don't think Terry York ever like played the edge in Texas A&M. Again, I haven't really scouted Terry York a lot because I haven't really gone to that deeper grades yet. So he might be a fine really late day 2 pick or a really early day 3 pick. But like in terms of like actual physical abilities, like there's no way he should be touching the first 4 rounds. So I think taking Terry York is like a real bad decision, which kind of fits the theme of this mock draft. So kind of know that pick for the Browns. I'm going to go wide receiver here. I'm going to go someone else who I don't really like at all. Kevin Coleman. No, I don't dislike Kevin Coleman Jr. actually. We're going to go Malachi Fields. I don't dislike Malachi Fields. I just think that like after his combine, his stock fell really like a lot. Like he had a pretty decent Senior Bowl, like an okay Senior Bowl, but he had a pretty like terrible combine, like really terrible combine. Like he really didn't like light it up anywhere. He had bad drops. He looked slow. Didn't look that fluid, and that really dropped him. I was having him as a second round pick before the combine. I was like, shit, maybe I just drop him a couple rounds, and I did that. And I think Malachi Fields isn't bad, but like again, you're not gonna take him 6 overall. Like you're not gonna take any of these guys 6 overall. But they go Malachi Fields. If you want a bad pick, this is a perfect pick. For the Commanders, I mean, it's really crazy. The top 5 players haven't gone yet. Man, what's happening? What's happening? We're gonna go with the wide receiver didn't even seem that grim because I actually don't like dislike many wide receivers here. But for the Commanders, taking Genesis Smith, a freak athlete, taking another chance on another safety is not a bad idea. Genesis Smith has probably the worst tackling and pad level and direction, cut and change of direction and pursuit angles in this class, and it's not even close. Like I watched this film, Jesus Christ, he's a crazy good athlete. He's really fast. I don't know if I think he tested the combine, tested pretty good at the combine, but like we knew he was gonna be a great athlete. You knew he was a freak athlete. The problem is his actual tackling form and technique just sucks, and he doesn't know where to do it, and he has like the worst pad level ever. He like goes around. It's like it's so awkward. Like there's a lot of awkward motions to it. So like Genesis Smith is just the safety of their future if they take him in the development right. Like he actually can like be a pretty good safety if like a team and organization actually takes time to develop his abilities. The problem is like I don't know how well like I don't know how well it'll be developed in the long run. So we're gonna Genesis Smith here. If you want a bad pick, it's a good pick. The Saints on the board. We're gonna go another edge rusher here. Not a lot have gone yet, and we might go. We might go Anthony Lucas, who also did not test well at the combine. Caden Curry is not a bad option. TJ Guy, not a bad option at all either. Logan Fano, again, not a bad option. We're going to go Anthony Lucas, edge out of USC. I don't like Anthony Lucas at all. His combine looked really good. Looked really bad. Anthony Lucas did not have a good combine, so we're going to go Anthony Lucas here because it's kind of a prospect low light and people I'm not very high on. So we're going to go Anthony Lucas here. Pretty bad option, but you get your guy here. For the quarterback position, the Chiefs will want a quarterback here, and they need a boundary cornerback. So you know what they're going to take? They're going to take Keontae Scott, a true boundary corner, which is completely wrong. Keontae Scott is literally the most inconsistent player I've seen on the football field in a hot minute. Like he's not the most like he's really generous. Like he's like taking like places to the house, but like I don't know. Like I just don't like it sometimes. So we're going to be going with Keontae Scott here, and they need a boundary corner, and he's not a boundary corner. So that's basically the main focal point of this pick. So we're going to go Keontae Scott here. The Bengals are on the clock. Let's see what they take. I think an edge rusher is 100% in play. The problem is who do you take? Cassius Howell is not a bad pick at all. I actually like Derek Moore a lot, so maybe we just like reach on and be like, yo, I like Derek Moore a lot. Kamara has been more like the edge rusher guy for them. Won't be a bad option. Rieger wasn't bad in the combine. Nade Tucker. You're going to take a G5 guy, the first. This is not a prospect low life for Nade Tucker either. I think he'd be fine in the NFL. It's just the problem is like this is mega reach mock draft, so he's going to be mega reach. So I like this pick a lot for them. They need an edge rusher. Not a bad option, especially after the departure of Trey Hendrickson. You're going to need another edge rusher in this room. Not a bad option to take Nade Tucker. I like it a lot for this team. They need an edge rusher. So taking your upside here in Nade Tucker, and even though he didn't play at the best school in the world, he is playing at a good school. So taking Nade Tucker is not a bad option for this team regardless. For the Dolphins, you need to get an entire offensive line here, and you need to try somebody. Bo Stevens is not a bad option. Amari Reed-Adams is not a bad option. Maybe you look at wide receiver here. Maybe you go to wide receiver, and we just take another pick of the wide receiver litter. We're going to go Brennan Thompson, a real speed demon. He can really burn you on the edge, but the problem is you don't know what he's going to get. And he did not test that well in the combine at all either. Like, him and Kevin Coleman Jr. did not have a great combine because they didn't really test that quickly. And I don't know. I just don't really like that was their whole thing, and they didn't even show that well with him while trying to showcase it. So they fell a lot in some draft boards. So Brent Thompson's not a bad option for his team if you want to reach, and this team wants to reach. So we're gonna go Brent Thompson here. Not a bad option for this team. I think it makes a lot of sense. The Cowboys. There's linebacker available. There's defensive material available. I don't really like defensive material here. I think safety is 100% available. We're going to go linebacker, though. Why would they take our research science styles here? Come on. A little bit of a reach. Bryce Botcher is a little bit of a interesting area to talk about, too. Lander Barton. Maybe we go Lander Barton here. Maybe we go Justin Jefferson. We're going to go Justin Jefferson. We're going to get a namesake for the Cowboys here. Justin Jefferson. He honestly didn't have a crazy bad combine. I think people just dropped it a lot. So that's not an interesting area to talk about. But I think Justin Jefferson is fine. Like, he had a fine tenure at Alabama. It's just like, again, there's another reach. Like, I can't really give you like a real in-depth analysis. Like, he's just probably gonna go here. So we're gonna go him here with the with the Rams on the board. I'm gonna go tight end here, but they're not gonna take Kenan Sadiq here because Kenan Sadiq fell a lot on the board. So we're gonna take someone else here. Who do they take? Otherwise though, Josh Kuvas, not bad. Oscar Delp, not another bad option either. We're gonna go Oscar Delp. You know, Oscar Delp came from a position and in an organization and a program that developed Brock Bowers. So who says he can't turn into the next Brock Bowers? So I think this is a good option for this team, and they want to maximize Matt Stafford's MVP window, and is eventually like he's gonna retire soon. So why don't you get another weapon for him? I think Oscar Delp wasn't a bad option. I don't dislike Oscar Delp as a prospect. I think he had some solid games at Georgia, but like you're gonna want some more out of him, and I think this can be the perfect ideal. They're gonna get more out of Oscar Delp, so I don't hate that idea. The Ravens on the board. We're gonna go somewhere else. We're gonna go Jeremiah Love here. They're gonna need another running back. Like, I think they need another running back too. Like, I don't like Derrick Henry at all. Like, I think he's a terrible running back. And I think, like, we're talking realistically though, I think he might fall off in the next couple of years. But I think you can wait on running back. But like, they're gonna take on the running back because like Jeremiah Love and Derrick Henry, who's gonna stop that? Really? Like, literally, who's gonna stop that? So we're gonna take Jeremiah Love here. Great one-cut ability. I like it a lot. The Bucks. With the recent departure of Levante David and him retiring, coming out of left field, we're going to go Jack Kelly, who also had a decent enough combine. But, this is going to be another reach because he had like pass rush snaps, cover snaps. He had a low in tackles and career high missed tackles. So, you break on the upside. This team needs a linebacker here. The linebacker room is terrible, and Levante David was gone. So you need somebody else. And I think Jack Kelly can bring in that intensity already. And with his career high missed tackles this year, I think he can start missing more tackles for you, and that could be a real awesome fit for this team. And you need a linebacker anyway, so I like it a lot. I think this makes a lot of sense for this team, especially with the linebacker depth being gone and how much you've missed on linebackers. And I think it'd be a real instant impact player for an organization that's really struggling. So I don't dislike Jack Kelly here. With the Jets on the board, who do they take? Of course, how could I forget? They take Ramella Height. Jesus Christ. God, it's just me being dumb. I'm going to take a corner here. I think the corner board is falling way too well. And, with Charles Demings, it's not a bad option. Like, I don't dislike Charles Demings. And there's probably better options, though. Like, I don't know. I like better options here. We're going to go Dalen Everett out of Georgia. I think Georgia has also produced some good corners, and especially after losing Sauce Gardner, you're going to need another corner replacement. And I think Dalen Everett can give you that corner replacement. So I like it a lot for this team. It makes a lot of sense for this team. Like, generally, I think this makes a lot of sense. Like, I actually really like it. And so we're going to go Dalen Everett here. I like it a lot for this team. It's a good fit. And, people really like to harp on him. I don't know why. I mean, look at his stats. Like, it's good, bro. He has 1 interception. He has 3 touchdowns. 440 yards allowed on him. Like, that's not terrible, right? You can work with that. He has 68 targets, 30 receptions, 450 in coverage snaps, and 751 in defensive snaps. It's not a bad option to take him here. Come on, just keep on doing it. And he's a starting quarterback at a prestigious program like Georgia, so I don't dislike it. For the Lions, I'm gonna go another tackle here, but I'm gonna go Markel Bell. We're going to go Markel Bell, who's a real behemoth. He has a crazy good frame. Like, his frame is really good. But I think if you develop him, like, his technique is as good as his frame. And I don't really dislike Markel Bell as a prospect. I just think that, like, his frame is too good. You can't pass up on it in the first round. So I think you need to take him. And, I mean, this guy's 6'9", 345. And for a tackle class, the higher the height, the better he is, and the higher the weight, the better he is as well. So I don't dislike Markel Bell here. I think it's making a lot of sense, and you really develop him under Penei Sewell. So imagine a 6'9" guy running at you full speed with 345 weight coming at him. Like, how can you even stop that? Like, that's really good. So I like Markel Bell here. this the Vikings here. We're gonna go to the wide receiver. I know they're planning on picking up Jordan Tyson's wide receiver, or not Jordan Tyson. I'm sorry, Jordan Addison's wide receiver, 50-year deal. But I think I like Deshaun Stribling a little bit more. Another speed guy too. I think he'll be awesome for this team. And if you look at his stats, right, with Trey Chambliss, he didn't do really bad at 8'11", 882. Like, he had really good yards, and like he's a little bit like he can probably play that like role that they're missing. And with Jordan Addison's tough like, you don't know, wild cardness, you could maybe use another wide receiver. So I don't like Deshaun Stribling here. Makes a lot of sense for this team. The Panthers, they're going to start giving up on Bryce Young soon. I think Fernando Mendoza makes the most sense here. I love Fernando Mendoza. He doesn't have the best arm talent in the world, but his leadership is off the charts. And this team really needs leadership. I don't like Bryce Young at all. I think he's not a franchise quarterback. So I'm going to go Fernando Mendoza here. Makes a lot of sense for this team. I like it a lot. Like, literally, it just fits like tooth and nail. Like, it just makes sense. Like, I don't know. There's just like an urge to me that it's like, okay, Fernando Mendoza is definitely a Panther. I think he should go here. I like a lot for this team. Makes sense. The Cowboys, I think with somebody else on the board, I'm gonna go another quarterback here. I'm gonna go Drew Aller, quarterback out of Penn State. Dude, people really like Drew Aller. I agree with it too. Coming off a broken leg, he also has a really, really good pro day, so I don't dislike Drew Aller here. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, like, Drew Aller, even without the broken leg, like, he made sense here, bro. Like, this makes sense for his team. And Dak Prescott be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. I would probably move on from him because you don't want to pay someone like Dak so much money. So take Drew Aller here, and eventually, like, starting him later on in the season would not be a bad option. Like, this makes a lot of sense for his team. I like it a lot. We're gonna go with Drew Aller here. The Steelers are on the clock, and with all the weapons they signed, they can definitely use another weapon. But I'm gonna go another edge rusher. I'm not really sold on T.J. Watt. Like, he's past his prime. He's an old guy. We're gonna go Caden Curry, who had a crazy good couple of games towards the end of the year, and I really like Caden Curry. He's a little bit an older guy, but I think with his stats going on an upward trend, you take him. Like, he went from 8 to 7 to 20. Like, that's crazy. And 14 hits. He added 10 to his hits. And he had more sacks. He had 12 sacks. Like, he's really good. And in all honesty, like, he has an upward trend. So I wouldn't mind taking a day 3 swing on him. But like, genuinely, like, they need him in the first round. So like, I need another edge rusher from the team. I need more pressure. I need more defensive identity. So taking Caden Curry is not a bad idea. Get some more white power on the team. Can probably blend well with, what am I doing? The Chargers are on the clock here too. I would like another safety. And I'm not a gigantic hater of Lorenzo Styles Jr. for how well he tests at the combine. Man, these Styles brothers are so good. They both deserve to be in the first round. But I think Lorenzo Styles is better than Sonny Styles. You know why? Because he plays a safety, run faster. And honestly, this team needs a safety, so I'd rather them take a safety than someone like Sonny Styles. Like, this makes a lot of sense for this team. I would like Lorenzo Styles a lot for him to go here. And if you look at his stats, right, his stats aren't bad. And producing at like, really look at this, man. Coverage snaps 22, 22 tackles, 4 assist tackles, and only 4 missed tackles. Like, right, like, you don't really see that happening from a safety. Like, he really deserves this, and I think he can 100% get it. And his snap count increased a lot. He has a bunch of defended passes, so I don't dislike Lorenzo Styles here. This makes a lot of sense for this team. The Eagles are on the clock here. Let's see what they can take here. I would like another tackle. I'm gonna go with another developmental tackle here. We're gonna go Trey Zune, who's another real developmental tackle. I like this a lot for this team, especially with Lane Johnson being on a 6'6", 319 guy who has had his issues, but like, look, the stats have seemed relatively the same, and this makes a lot of sense. He only had 7 hurries this year. I think you should take him in the first round and literally get another a surefire ability pick. Like, this makes a lot of sense. A really high floor for this guy. Like, I like him a lot. Like, I think he'll be an awesome pick for this team. The Browns, after taking Malachi Fields, wide receiver out of Notre Dame, we're going to go with an offensive tackle here because they haven't really taken him an offensive tackle here. They need a left tackle, and I think Isaiah World would 100% fit this mold for them. I think they need an Isaiah World area, and the way he got mauled during the Senior Bowl just made him look even more tough. Like, I don't know. I just felt like I just had a real good prospect ability while watching it. I was like, damn, this guy looks really good. So we're going to go Isaiah World here. I like it a lot. This fits a lot for this team. This team needs a tackle, and someone who gets ran over like Isaiah World fits the Cleveland Browns scheme of sucking all the time. So I'm just like Isaiah World here a lot, and this makes a lot of sense for this team if you really want another card or tackle position next year. So we're gonna go Isaiah World here. The Bears on the clock. I mean, come on. Like, I would take another quarterback here. I'm going to go Ty Simpson, quarterback out of Alabama. I think this team needs another backup quarterback. I think I'd rather them take a backup quarterback than rushing and taking a defensive line, which they don't even need that much, right? You have you have the worst run defense in the league. I think you can suffice with that, or even a safety with after losing your two backhand guys. Like I don't know. I think Tyson makes a lot more sense. It gives more reassurance to Caleb Williams, and occasionally Caleb Williams just wants to be like, nah, I'm good. Tyson can step in, be that guy, and misses deep throws inaccurately. I like that a lot for this team. Tyson has a real competitiveness to him, so I don't dislike the ability of eventually building that competitiveness and eventually taking over that Caleb Williams role. Because Caleb Williams, you suck. So we're gonna go Ty Simpson here. The Bills, another quarterback's a play tier 2-2, and I think I like Jalen Downs here, especially with how bad he tested at the combine. This makes a lot of sense for his team. And with Josh Allen, you can develop him into a WW quarterback. I think Josh Allen's at the tail end of his career. I mean, like, he just came off an MVP 2 years ago. I think that's old news. That's in the past. I think Jalen Downs here, it's not a bad option for his team. I think even with his inconsistent plays at the combine, like, I think definitely can see him falling with the inconsistencies, but with his inconsistencies being in play, he can definitely go in the first round. So I like a lot for this team. And if you look at the trends, right, it's been really bad for the last couple of years, right? He had a career high in yards, and high completion percentage, highest in attempts, but like, this is a senior season, he didn't even have that good, right? So he also had career lows in interceptions too, and a career high in touchdowns. Like, the trend is upwards, right? And imagine you're competing with Josh Allen and you're learning from Josh Allen. Not a bad option to take Jalen Downs here and keep on riding the high tide. Not a bad option. The 49ers here, I don't dislike another quarterback here. We're going to go another quarterback. We're going to go Cade Klubnik, quarterback out of Clemson. He didn't have the greatest year. He was a Heisman hopeful, Heisman top 5 Heisman favorite. But, he had a real bad year. And I think the 49ers could develop another quarterback, because you saw how they did with Brock Purdy. And if it's a low in the yards compared to the year before, and low in touchdowns, and tied amount in interceptions, I still like Cade Klubnik. It makes a lot of sense for this team. I love it. I like it a lot. And I think this makes a lot of sense for this team. And this team needs a quarterback to compete with Brock Purdy. Not a bad option. With the Texans on the board, I'm going to go another tight end here. We're going to go... who do we go here? We're going to go Jack Velling, tight end out of Michigan State. But the thing with Jack Velling is that, like, I think he's going to be an awesome tight end. He was a college football 25 legend. I really like Jack Velling a lot. And even with his career lows in yards and yards per reception, and only 3 touchdowns compared to his one the year before, there's an up down on touchdowns. So I think this team can use another weapon in the area, and you know what you're going to get from him. You're going to get 3 touchdowns a year. So why don't you take your 3 touchdowns here and take Jack Velling here? I like it a lot for this team. Makes sense. The Chiefs are on the clock. They have Keontae Scott 8, their boundary corner of the future. Now they're going to take another edge rusher here. And, who do they want here, man? Like, do you want anybody here? And I'm going to go Joshua Josephs. He has a real 3-down lineman ability. Not really, but, I'm going to say that just for the video. I like Joshua Josephs a lot in no scenario. But, in this scenario, I do. And he has 4 hits this year, 22 hurries, which is good. He's a real speed rusher. 2 bad down balls. I mean, come on. Like, how can you deny that? 5 sacks? Come on. Like, he's a for sure first round pick. And he has a bunch of pass rush snaps, a bunch of run defensive snaps. Like, you know what you're going to get from him. You're going to get consistency, you're going to get good pass rushing ability, and you're going to try and develop him into a 3-down lineman, which I think you can be if I don't know. I don't know if you can do that. I'm going to be honest. But I think Josh Rodgers here makes a lot of sense. With the Dolphins on the board, they took Brennan Thompson. I'm going to want another safety here. Who do we take, though? Like, do we take Isaiah Nwokobia? Do we take Xavier Nwokobia? Jacoby Thomas? Not a bad option. We're going to go Dalton. We're going to go Dalton Johnson, safety out of Arizona. I like this a lot for this team, too. I mean, like, he didn't really start for like this, but like, he had a good amount of defensive snaps, 373, 389. It was a good contrast to Genesis, man. And he had a pretty good amount of tackles. I mean, it's low, but I think you buy low on this guy. And this team needs a real defensive back. And I think after trading Minka Fitzpatrick, you can take someone like Dalton Johnson and really get the tackles. Not a bad option. He didn't have a career high in missed tackles, but I think you can look past that and just take the upside, man. I think there's a lot of upside here. And he had a really good game against ASU. So I don't dislike Dalton Johnson here at all. With the Patriots on the board, let's see where they go here. We're gonna go. Drew Shelton is not a bad option at all, and I don't dislike Drew Shelton at all. But who else can we take? Alex Harkey. We're going to take another tackle from Oregon. This makes a lot of sense. I think he's kind of similar to Isaiah Ward, where, like, I like it. Like, I like it a lot. I mean, there's a lot of upside here. Only 2 sacks this year, 6 hits, and 12 hurries. Like, it's career high, but, like, he didn't really start because Oregon's so start in the first couple years because Oregon's so stacked. But this year he did, and he played 14 games, and he was there. He was there every single snap, 887 snaps. Really good. You know what you're going to get from him. You're going to get consistency. And I think Morgan Moses is going to be gone soon. So if you take Alex Harkey here, get more upside for your pick. For the Seahawks, so it's going to go with somebody else here. We're going to go with an edge rusher. The problem is, who do we take, man? God, Jayshon Barham is just looking at me in the eyes and saying, take me. Same with Quintavious Hutchins. I mean, come on, man. Look at this guy. He has 2 sacks, 4 hits. I think I'm going to go with Quintavious Hutchins. This team needs another edge rusher after losing Boye Mafe. So I think taking Quintavious Hutchins, it's not a bad option. Like, this makes a lot of sense for this team. And this team needs an edge rusher too. And Mike McDonald can probably work his magic with this. And you just need him to work his magic because he's a perfect prospect. So I like Quintavious Hutchins a lot here. This makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I like this pick a lot. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what you guys think of this mock draft. I put so much time and effort into this, and I really wanted to make the best mock draft I can. I mean, Diego Pave has got to be the first round pick, and Ramon High is probably the best edge rusher in this class. So I think this makes a lot of sense. I love Jaden Ott as a prospect. God, the way he just criticizes the media and just gets injured a lot, and then and doesn't claim Oklahoma State when they took him in, or Oklahoma when they took him, just makes me just so happy with him as a prospect. God, this was an amazing mock draft. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what you guys think. I just thought that I had a little fun today. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.